I want to share some thoughts on what I call it as Indian knowledge systems, because this MS Vedic Sciences, my quick understanding is, I think they are offering something at the core of Indian knowledge systems, IKS, if I call it. So therefore, before we talk about the MS Vedic Sciences program, it is important that we talk about Indian knowledge system. So this word Indian knowledge system is often heard these days. I am sure you would have also heard it many number of times. And this has three words there: Indian, knowledge, and system. So as we all know, Indian is anything which is the Akhanda Bharat, not just the India that was artificially created in 1947. Our culture is several millennia old. So when we say Indian, what we mean is the Akhanda Bharat, stretching anywhere from Afghanistan up to maybe Burma or Thailand on the other side. Of course, on the north and south, we were tightly held between the mountain and the ocean. So Himalayas, say to Himalaya, from Himalayas to Kanyakumari. So when we say Indian, that is Indian. So all those who are there, who have lived there, who are living there, they are Indians. Then you have knowledge. Knowledge, as we all again know, is a set of ideas, deep reflection that we have, and we have experimented, our ancestors have experimented, we continue to experiment, etc., etc. All these repositories called knowledge. And our knowledge can be, literal or not literal. It can be oral also. It need not be always in writing. The entire Vedic corpus is a oral tradition, although it has its own lipi and so on. But there are things which are even without a lipi, our health care, our performing arts. So knowledge can be formal, informal, with literary base, without literary base. It can be oral. All these are knowledge. And then the third word is systems. Systems is a very structured way by which we can organize this entire knowledge in a nice way so that we can make sense of it. So this is what is Indian knowledge system, IKS. So I would think there is a huge issue of pride, economic sense involved in Indian knowledge system. Therefore, it is very important for us. We can't be on the ring side, which we have been for the last 150, 200 years, because of a certain kind of an education system that we all have gone through. Now, the second question is, do we really have anything interesting? In the area of mathematics, Indians have contributed phenomenally thousands of years before what the West did. In the 2nd century BC, we have Chandra Shastra, in which the binary mathematics, Pascal's triangle, the binomial, all those ideas are so beautifully laid out. We have a continuous tradition of working on astronomy, calculus, spherical trigonometry, the number systems, the number zero and the decimal system, and so on. India has been the home for metal and metalworking. There is something called wood steel, which was exported in large quantities, which is about 200 kilometers from Bangalore. It is in the tri-junction of modern day Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka. From there, iron ores were extracted and they created what is called wood steel. Till last century, I think even today, people have not been able to recreate that wood steel. We have been good in zinc. We told the world how to actually extract zinc. We have been very good in what is called idol making. In 17th century, if French people came with what is called lost wax process, we have it in our Puranas and other references, what is called Madhuchishta Vidhanam and so on. We have a pillar in the open sky in Delhi, which has not rusted for 1,500, 700 years. That talks about our credibility in metal and metalworking. We have been very good in health. Some of the surgical practices, the operation theatre practices are all available in the 2nd century. Arthashastra is a masterpiece in terms of public governance, administration, the kind of taxation, How do you manage public finance? So I can go on and on. All that I'm saying is there is a large chunk of contributions which we are totally unaware. Therefore, it is time for us to partake this, get actively engaged in this process, and uh, not only benefit for ourselves, and I think the society will only benefit at the end of the day. So therefore, IKS is very important for all the reasons that I have been telling. So now comes a very important question. Well, how do we go about this task? I think the only way it can happen, let me tell you, as a professor, let me tell you, the only way it can happen is we must have some formal education programs for us, because that is going to really dip us into it in a very structured fashion and so on. And this is precisely where I think this Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth's M.Sc Vedic Science program. I just looked at Sunita ji has been kind to just share some broad details, and when I looked at it, I thought this is the kind of thing that we need, because we need to get formally introduced. We need to get individually experienced. Unless we have an individual experience, there is no way we will be able to take it forward. And generally, this WhatsApp and somebody saying India is great, generally me thinking that India is great and Indians have contributed are all fine, but that's not what it is. So that's where I think this M.Sc Vedic Science as a program may be very useful. And therefore, I'm very happy that Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth has chosen. I've seen a few programs. I have not seen anything as nicely thought about, structured, and thought about as CVV has done for the kind of the problem that I have been talking that we have on our hand. So therefore, now the question is who can take this? I mean, is it for me? Is it for who? This kind of a question will also come. So I was thinking about it, and I can think of three segments. The first segment is a large chunk of working people. See, today I find, because being a professor, people also meet me and take my advice. I find once people are into a job, once they have finished their formal education for the purpose of a job, so at the age of 28, 29, these interests really, come up very seriously. So the working people who have a deep desire, such people only will do it, and I'm sure there are any number of them in this country with a deep desire to be very proud of India, want to contribute in rebuilding our glory. See, we've just lost it for a variety of reasons, and many of us, in the heart of our heart, think we want to participate in this rebuilding process and journey. Question is how. So that is where the program of this kind would be, because IKS is really a starting point, and such programs is really a good starting point for all these. So I would think who want to contribute to rebuilding the glory of this country, want to remove that feeling. Many of us have a feeling that I have not gone through it, that nagging feeling. So I think this is a great opportunity. So I see a large chunk of working people who can be part of it. The second constituency whom I think would be very benefited by this is, many people come and tell me, sir, I want to do a PhD in some IKS related topic. Then this is really the starting point. I think by doing this masters in Vedic Sciences, because they have nicely put together these essential components of IKS, so this would really put us closer to that desire of doing a PhD. A lot of people I see are interested in doing PhD. They come and ask me. So this can be a very good starting point. So those who want to do a PhD sometime down the line, they should do this program and equip themselves, so that their desire of doing that PhD will almost get fructified very soon. The third group is, I call them as change agents, because anybody who want to actively participate in this Vishwa Guru journey that we are doing now, A lot of us want to participate, and I let me tell you, the best way to participate is to equip us first. I see a lot of people going and then talking about Hinduism, and if they are quizzed what is Hinduism and what is Vedic, what is contained in Veda, they draw blank, and that's a very bad thing. We'll become a laughing stock. Instead of contributing to the cause, we will be actually damaging the cause, and because our conviction may not be there. Therefore, all those future agents who want to actually participate in the Vishwaguru transformation that India is currently going on, I think this is a time well spent. This is the yogadana that they should do so that they will actively do that process. I just want to stop here. I'm sure Sunita ji and others have more details on what exactly this MS Vedic Sciences and how it would fit into the IKS and the current importance that all that is happening. All that I would like to say is the National Education Policy NEP 2020 has laid a great emphasis on IKS and Indian rootedness. So you must understand that your children, my children, all our children are going to learn. They are a little more fortunate. They are going to learn a lot more IKS than you and me. But we should never land in a situation when they come and ask you something as part of their curriculum or this genuine interest to know. We can't say, I do not know. That will be a very shameful act. So I think whole of India must learn formally some IKS because the future generations are going to go on that path. We should not be left out. So to do that, a program like this M.Sc Vedic Science would be hugely useful. I congratulate Chinmaya Vishwa Vidyapeeth for taking this opportunity to think through of a program like this. I am sure they will build whatever flexibility is required for the target segments of working people, those who are slightly later in their life, 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on. I'm sure they will do all that is required to make it a very manageable kind of a program. I strongly advocate that you all must take this program and you will only feel having taken a right decision in your life. Thank you and for this opportunity and good luck.